What is going on, guys? Joey Franzo here with Flex Training Systems. 45 billion in the Flex chat. Today we're going to be breaking down my man Sean Mills, Wheeze himself. We're going to be bringing down his meet. He has a very nice video up on the YouTube's The Young Prospect. First meet together. He told us 790 kg, which we were very angry about. We could do way better than that. So we're going to break it down. There's a lot of positives, which you guys will see. But yeah, let's get right into it. So opening squat here. Granted, we went over numbers midweek. That did not move how it has traditionally moved, and you can tell right away that something was off. I'm gonna just give you guys a little spoiler alert right now. This is the reason. Something that you will learn when working with a coach is where does your body weight need to be at what point relation to the meet. What should you be doing with nutrition? I had went over it, but maybe I wasn't clear enough. Maybe I need to be more deliberate. It's all good. Like first meets, there's always like little things here and there. Like you say it, and then you're like, okay, I got you. But like maybe you need to like experience it, right? You got to go through the process. You got to understand what's going on. Yeah, he just came in super light. There was no need for that. He had told me he had been around 231, 230, 229 in training. That could be it right there. I don't know if you guys have lost 5 pounds and tried to squat, but it don't feel the same. So, especially a guy like him, who's he's not like a little compact ball. He's like tall, right? Kind of lanky. 6 feet is extremely tall for a powerlifter. Literally 0.0001%. Yeah, so if you're 6 feet tall, you can't be coming in 5 pounds light. If you're shorter, I mean, you should never come in 5 pounds light, but you could argue that the reason why I say that is because someone that's tall, for every pound that they gain, is going to exponentially help their leverage as to someone who already has, you know, better leverage to begin with. But yeah, 5 pounds, a big deal. Can't come in light like that. We're going to talk about other possible things more from a general perspective. So 617, it moved fine. I mean, it moved well. It was fast, but it wasn't as fast as it could have been. Granted, he is tall, so his sticking point's going to be longer than someone else that isn't as tall as him. I don't think I was awake for squat. I think I woke up right after squats. This was at 7 a.m. Obviously I'm on West Coast, he's East Coast, so rip me. I weighed in at 7 a.m., so I think he competed at 9. I don't wake up at 6 a.m. Second attempt here. Oof, wait, hold on. How much was that? Let me see real quick. Hey, you know what?
Oh my God, I'm not.
Thank you for the follow.
Oh,
Mr. Biceps. For that being as slow as it was. Wait, this is the wrong one. For that being as slow as it was, I'm actually a little surprised. Maybe he was able to gain some of his weight back. Never mind. 7 keys, 5 to 7 keys is the move. 661. This is the low end of the third attempts, I believe, that I gave him. So when I woke up and I saw, you know, that's what he hit, I knew, okay, like something's off today. So I remember specifically telling him, actually, I think he might have been able to do 666, but I remember telling him, I need to see your squat attempts to see how off you are so we can adjust the other lifts accordingly, right? Traditionally, squat will kind of dictate what's going to happen on deadlift. If you're 5 keys off on squat, you might be 5 keys off on deadlift, etc., etc. At least that's the way I peak people. It's very consistent. Some people, like, they might peak one lift one way and another lift another way. There is, you know, they do kind of feed off of each other. So usually they're going to be on point. So that's a little tip. If your squats are terribly weak, you can expect maybe possibly something different on deadlift. It just depends. It depends on the type of squatter. It depends on the type of lifter. Did you cut weight? You know, what was the history of the lifter coming into the meet? There's a lot of different things that go into it. But with him, the situation had told me, okay, if his squat is going to be a certain way, then his deadlift will probably, be adjusted accordingly. Granted, this man is only he's 18 to 19 years old range or whatever. So super young, lots of time to grow. Very simple lesson to learn from this. Don't come in 5 pounds light. Make sure that you're eating the same if you're not cutting weight coming in. In fact, if you can afford it, eat a little bit more. I remember before the Arnold, I believe I had ramen. That's like sodium and carb city. Um, you know what I mean? And that's just going to kind of make sure that you're very bloated and ready to be strong on meat day. Not everybody likes to do that. I have a very tolerable, like my stomach can tolerate a lot, so that's what I like to do. Anyway, opening up here on a 370 on bench. Hold on, where's my? There we go. 370 on bench. Let me see. Let me pull it back real quick. Is there any way for me to do this without? Jesus Christ. I'm gonna be honest. Looking at that for the day, I want to say 391 is all that he had, right? He might come alive, maybe 396, possibly 402. Based on this attempt only, we're going to keep going. Whoa. I accidentally hit the wrong button. We're going to keep going here. I believe he did miss his second bench due to a technicality. Just going to stand there, huh? Oh, he told me that, wait a minute. Hold on a second here. Hey, you know what? Homeboy's just gonna have to be there, I guess. I gotta see this. He told me he had some issues with his feet, so I'm looking at his feet right now. That is the longest hold I have ever seen, and I don't even see your feet moving, sir. So, I think you just got screwed. I don't see any movement. I don't see no feet moving. I'm looking at your left foot. I don't know what's going on here, but there ain't no left foot moving. He told me he had issues getting his left foot set. I don't see anything. I will say that his feet look like they were slightly back behind him a little bit better on the first one. So I'm not really sure what the deal is there. You accidentally played third attempt? Nope. Unless they're mixed up. I'm looking at your foot right now. This is definitely your second attempt because you're holding it for a month. Okay, so he got a really long hold. Ayo. Alright. I'm just gonna I gotta move on. I can't keep looking. I can't leave it. He got a normal start command there. So I mean that's all it is, man. I wouldn't be too beat up over it. You could argue, as a matter of fact, here, let me nah, we ain't going back to bench. All right. I will say this. Hold on, let's get this. There we go. I will say this, Weez, on your bench, he's in chat, so I can talk to him directly. I actually think that if your second attempt move just like your, how the one that you got, I would say it is justifiable to try to attempt 402 because I don't know if you guys know this about me, but on bench specifically, I like to attempt. I don't mind jumping 5 kilos. Like if it's a gamble, I say just jump it. Jump the 5. If you get it, great. You can fight it out, kind of see where you're at. If you don't get it, then you left 5 pounds on the platform. Who cares? It's like betting double or nothing, right? If you're competing for a world title or something like that, you can't take those risks. But I mean, this was. I didn't see his foot moving. I didn't see his foot sliding or anything like that. So I will talk to him about that because on video, looking at it on detail, it actually looked a lot better. But yeah, I mean, you guys saw how long they made him hold it. I'm not trying to get on judges or anything, but shit happens. You're gonna go to meets. You're gonna have judges that are inconsistent. Things are gonna be weird. Maybe they're looking at like the sliver of your heel and it's not down, and they don't. They're very inexperienced and they don't want to put their arm down. I don't know, right? It is what it is. When I'm at these meets, I'm very I'm on top of the judges. I'm asking them what was that for? Da 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 da. I'm contesting things. I'm checking times. I'm doing all kinds of stuff like that. So opener was chill here. Like I said, he was about 5 keys off on squat, so we can kind of expect that on deadlift. The high end that he wanted, it was a record, but in my opinion, like based on training, I would say 711 is the cap. Absolute perfect day. He needed to go a little bit over that to attempt a record, and only if the day was perfect would and he was feeling it. Would I like? I'm never gonna be like no way unless it's like no way. I was willing to consider it, and then here I remember telling him, "Hey man, it's whatever you want. Do you want to go? Do you want to go 8 for 9, or do you want to attempt the record?" The second attempt didn't move as well as he wanted it to. Like I said, you can't just come in 5 pounds light, you're going to be a little bit off. So he jumped 5 keys. Shout out to him for staying resilient and fighting through and getting this. To be his age, to be able to lift this weight is kind of nuts. And, we're just going to continue to build from this. He has plenty of room to grow into the weight class. And then once he does reach the cap of the weight class, we can do some recomp, and very, very bright future ahead. He got I believe he got 1 red for his knee not being locked. Where is it? I don't know if he's in here, but I don't remember if it was left or right leg. Obviously, this angle we're not going to be able to tell on the right leg, but on the left leg, I could see it right. Hold on, I just want to say, when I first started with Wheeze, he had terrible grip. I'm not going to lie. He had one of the worst grips of any lifter that I had ever seen. It was just insane how weak it was. So for us to just fix that immediately, right? Like, shout out to him. And I know that his grip is legit now because he's able to maintain his grip so he can fight through those heavy third attempts, those heavy second attempts, and secure the lift. If you don't have good grip, there's no shot of you fighting through that. There's no shot. You're not fighting through nothing. You're gonna hit that sticky, and you're just gonna put it down, or you're gonna drop it. So that is a huge sign of growth. That is a huge sign of improvement. That's something I'm very proud of. Something like that. Grip is kind of, not only is it physical, but it's mental as well. You gotta just be conscious of it as you're pulling. So for him to come through and do that, we're gonna go through. So he ended up with 661, 385, and 695. We wanted to go 672, 402, 705, 711. Okay, it's kind of nitpicking. That's fine, right? Like, this was a 1,000,000-pound total PR. But we hold ourselves to a higher standard, right? We want to cap it out. So why didn't we hit those higher numbers? It's right here. That's it. You can't come in 5 pounds light. Never again. It's not going to happen ever again. If you train 5 pounds light, come in a pound over, right? But you can't come in 5 pounds light. That's it. On bench, I think he could have probably ended with like at least 391, 396. That second attempt was really weird, but he was able to overcome and secure, just make it right. I'm not disappointed. I'm not mad about any of these numbers. He did what he was supposed to do. There wasn't any like crazy, like, why would you do that? Some kids, you get them out there and it's meet day and they just do some wild stuff. He didn't do that. So I'm proud of him for that. Like I said, a lot of potential. There's a lot of positives to take away from this. Man's looking clean in the black and white flex tee with the black and white SBD singlet. So there's other variables here. I just kind of want to go through them. I don't like every meet. You're gonna have different things to deal with, right? which could throw you off. So you need to be able to adjust accordingly. Check your ego, throw that shit out, and handle business. So we're just gonna kind of go through potential excuses, right? Because that's what they are, that could have played a role. And some of these things would affect me for sure. 6-hour drive, absolutely. I would spend money and fly if I could. 7 a.m. comp time. I had to do this at the Arnold, and I hated it, and it sucked. And I still hit PRs, but it was not as, I guarantee you, it was not as much as it could have been. Minimally, very minimally. Peaking on time. So he had mentioned to me that he didn't feel like super fresh on the day, but there's other factors that play into that. And then when he took his squat single the following Monday, if we didn't peak on time, it would have been weak. Or sorry, it would have been strong. You know what I mean? Meaning he wasn't fully recovered, he had extra rest, and then he recovers and then hits the PR. That didn't happen. He felt rusty, felt, you know, even weaker than meet day, which means good. You did it when you were supposed to. There's no way in hell he would have been stronger the day before the meet because of how he felt the day, like 48 hours out. So that's not an issue. The week of training is very telling. So, you know, that's good info for us. Bench stability. I originally thought it was that, but I think he just got I don't know what the judge was looking at, but they didn't give him a start command, and that, I mean, it happens. I can think of many flashbacks of me having to deal with that at nationals with lifters. 48. Why is this over here? 48 hours out. Nutrition. Okay, so, you know, it's one thing to track macros, but it's another thing to be super accurate. So maybe we just need to be a little bit more accurate when it comes to that kind of stuff. But we need to make sure that we're having enough salt, food, water, all those things, the same as training, if not a little bit more. You need to make sure that you're doing that and staying consistent leading into the competition. If you drink 7 Fairlife chocolate milks every day and you suddenly stop doing that, then clearly there's gonna be something's gonna be off, right? Salt, food. Okay, we already talked about that. No sleep. He said he couldn't really sleep the day before. I mean, that's gonna happen. 1 day of minimal sleep. I don't really think it plays too much a role, but multiple days for sure. It's going to be hard to sleep until you become more experienced and just kind of become like immune, right? Like me, I sleep like a brick before I compete. Unless I know I need to wake up early. I hate that. So that's why I try to avoid it. Because you have that fear of like oversleeping or whatever, or sleeping in. But nerves will go away in time. Nerves will go away in time. Learning how to handle your personalized nutrition leading into a competition is something we will continue to work on and refine over time. This was just a weird ref thing. I think I didn't see any problems. Elbows look locked, feet look down. I don't know what that was. So whatever, it is what it is. Peak on time, no problem there. 7 a.m. comp time. I mean, shit, it is what it is. Get there earlier, right? Get accustomed earlier. Try to wake up earlier, sooner, whatever. 6-hour drive. Avoid it. All this is controllable, right? All this is, for a lot, not all of it, but a lot of it is controllable, right? I mean, you could argue that this is controllable. Just pick a different meet, right? Distractions. Hey, man, there's a crowd there, you know. Shit is what it is, bro. You just gotta stay mentally tough and just grow from it, learn from it, and get better. So what are the takeaways? You need to be selfish meet week. Be selfish, more tedious meet week. You need to be selfish, just be a little bit more tedious. Cut out extra variables. Don't hang out with people if you know it's gonna mess you up. Like, just focus on you. Be like, hey, yo, sorry, I haven't seen you in a long time. You're a dope person, but I got to get to sleep because I'm trying to blow up some numbers tomorrow, right? It's 1 week. Just sacrifice a little bit. Make sure you're on point. And then, you know, if we can control these variables, if we can control them as best we can or better, then we can end up here instead of here, right? And that's really all it is, right? That's really all it is. This is the main thing, though. I think this can kind of trump all this. It can just override all of that. I don't think people realize how much, you know, controlling that. And these things will affect that, right? If you're not eating enough or nutrition is off, then you might be a little bit lighter. If you don't sleep enough, I mean, that's weird. It's gonna have to be multiple days of lack of sleep. Um, there's just a lot of things that play into it. So be more tedious. Don't come in 5 pounds light. It's a learning experience. You guys gotta understand that each meet. Here, let's go back to the beginning. Just play like random footage. Each meet is a step towards perfecting and having that super meet. You're going to learn a little bit on meet 1. You're going to add that to the arsenal. Then you're going to learn a little bit on meet 2. You can add that to the arsenal. You're going to learn a little bit meet 3 and add that to the arsenal. And eventually, the more you do it, if you and your coach are communicating and you guys are proactive, you're going to get there. I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about any of this. This is easy stuff. This is stuff that's going to come automatic in time, right? We just did the last video on my channel. You guys will see is a coach's corner with Russ. To get to that point, we had a bunch of meets to just stack the chips, refine, perfect, and then you show up and you're a gamer on meet day. That's really what it is. So, Weez, if you're listening to this, just know that you got a bright future ahead of you, lots of potential. Nobody should count you out. And it's going to be exciting to see, what we can do over the coming months, years, weeks, whatever. And like I said, just continue doing you. I think you're a big inspiration for a lot of kids out there. And yeah, man, it's going to be fun looking back at this meet in the future and just kind of seeing how far you've grown. So if you guys want to check out this channel, his channel and this video is going to be in the description down below. Let me get a hashtag potential, hashtag the future, hashtag potential, hashtag young goon in the comments down below. And don't be distracted, guys. See you guys in the next one.